Today we have Iman Bukhari, who is the CEO and founding member of Canadian Cultural Mosaic Foundation, in our studio. Iman Bukhari, welcome to Asian Magazine.
Thanks, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. Can I call you Iman?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Iman, tell me about yourself briefly.
Absolutely. I have my journalism diploma. I did my bachelor's in communications, and right now I'm working on my master's in multimedia communications, and I run Canadian Cultural Mosaic Foundation, also known as Canadian CMF. I also work full-time as a communications specialist.
Mm-hmm. As you are the CEO and the founding member of the Canadian Cultural Mosaic Foundation, as you said, Canadian CMF, why do you need to found this foundation?
Absolutely. We live in Canada, which is a multicultural society. So it's very important for us to all get along and understand one another. This group deprived from the need of understanding one another, so understanding different cultures, different religions, people from different backgrounds and different race. So once we understand each other, we get along much better. So our foundation works to educate Canadians, to help mitigate racism, and also help new Canadians integrate into our society and our laws.
So when this foundation was formed?
This foundation was formed in 2009 from a youth group, and we officially registered last year.
Okay. What are the objectives of this foundation?
The objectives are to educate Canadians, to help them understand different races, religions, and different backgrounds, to create a harmonious society, as well as to integrate new Canadians into our society and our laws and our norms, and of course to mitigate racism.
So far, what have this foundation accomplished?
We created last year a documentary on forced marriages that happen within Canada and how we can help to end this issue. And that documentary won an award from the Rationalist Society of Pakistan. It has also been viewed across the world. So in Canada, throughout Canada, in the States, in Pakistan, in the UK, there's been many screenings. And even throughout Calgary itself, we've done different screenings, and we continue to do them and start discussions about this topic so we can help end it.
So what I understand, this foundation's activities are more along the line with the media, to produce documentaries, and you said you have produced a documentary of the forced marriages, which is well accepted in Pakistan and other regions as well. So that's what the main activity is, through media?
Well, I do come from a media background, and so do a lot of the people who are part of this organization. So we do have a lot of projects that are media related, but that doesn't mean that that's it, because we're also working on other projects that are more art related. We basically just want to get our message out there, and we're exploring different mediums to do that. So media is one of the...
So what are the current programs or events of this foundation?
So this year we're focusing big on anti-racism. We have our 48-hour anti-racism film festival coming up, and I'll just explain that to you. Basically, our 48-hour anti-racism film festival consists of a film challenge. So teams will get 48 hours to make a short film, 2 to 5 minutes long, with the theme of anti-racism. And that is going to take place February 12 to 13 at that empty space at the University of Calgary. And we're still allowing people to participate in that as well. And afterwards, on February 13th, we're going to have a poetry jam at the same place, University of Calgary, that empty space. And on March 21st, which is the International Day for the Elimination of Racial Discrimination, we're going to be screening all the films that completed the challenge, and a winner will be decided as well.
What's the 48 hours film challenge?
So this is when you get 48 hours to make a short film. So we're having teams across Calgary, even across Alberta, participate in this, and they're going to get 48 hours. The theme is anti-racism, and we're going to give each team a specific challenge. So they'll either have a quote or a prop or a topic within that theme that has to be incorporated. This is how we know that they completed it within 48 hours. So it's challenging, it's fun, and it's for a good cause.
So on February 13th is the poetry jam. Tell me about it.
Yes, so the film festival is going to be completed on the 14th. So the 13th event is kind of going within that 48 hours, But February 13 is a poetry jam, and basically that means that artists throughout Calgary, throughout Alberta can come out and do spoken word poetry about the theme of anti-racism. So if you have felt discrimination or you feel like it exists in our society and you'd like to come and talk about it, you can do it through expressive poetry, also known as spoken word. And we're going to have really well-known Calgarian poets at that event. So we're very excited about that. And it's free for anyone to enter, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Okay. Is there any, has to be in English or any language?
We do encourage English, as we want everybody to be able to understand.
Okay. And then thereafter, on March 21st, there's a red carpet screening. What is it?
Yes, so that's very exciting. It's a red carpet screening. We're going to have a red carpet. People are going to come dressed up. Basically, everybody who completed the challenge, their film will be screened, and we're having that at the John Dutton Theatre in downtown Calgary at 6:30 p.m. That's when it'll start. So we encourage people to come at 6 p.m. and their films will be screened, and there will be a judging panel who will decide who the winner of the film festival will be, and they'll win a $250 prize, as well as other prizes will be given away as well. And it's a lot of fun. I mean, throughout the 48 hours, so from the 12 to 14, we're going to be available to help people if they want to get into filmmaking and they need kind of a little bit of help with the software. As well, we're going to have pizza dinner for the participants. There's going to be swag giveaways, lots of fun things. A whole bunch of fun things within the 48 hours.
Are there any other associations or groups associated with this foundation?
Yes. Well, within this festival, there is our 48-hour film festival. We are hosting it with the University of Calgary's Film Society, as well as Antics Community Arts Group, and we're funded this 48-hour film festival is funded by the Calgary Foundation as well as the Alberta Commissions of Human Rights.
Are there any limitations or restrictions to participate in this film festival?
We encourage absolutely everyone. If you are under the age of 18, for sure, we would like your parents' permission, and it would have to be signed by them. But we're encouraging absolutely everyone. And if you're new to filmmaking, if you're just learning, we are there to help. So definitely, we want everyone to come out.
As from our conversation earlier, you mentioned that you make documentaries, and you have made forced marriages, the documentary. And what, other than that, what else have you done?
Yes, so I come from a multimedia background, so I have a deep interest in filmmaking and photography and other mediums. So filmmaking is definitely important to me. Forced Marriages was one of my first documentaries. Afterwards, our organization also created a short animated film called Stories of Race, and that actually involved a call to action. We asked several Canadians out there to send us their stories of that they have experienced racial discrimination, and we collected them, and out of them we picked the 10 top ones that our organization picked, and we made animations out of them, and they were narrated by the people who experienced that. So that was Stories of Race, and our next one is actually coming up, and it's very exciting. It took us a year and a half to complete, and it's called YYC Colors. This is a documentary, a 45 minutes documentary about racism in Calgary. And that's going to be screened and premiered on April 9th, and that's already sold out. Already in January, it's completely sold out, which is very exciting. And we're going to have several screenings throughout Calgary, and we've already been invited to have more panel discussions, more screenings, and that was the whole purpose of it. The purpose of that documentary was to document the different experiences that Calgarians have gone through to start a discussion around racism, because when we admit there's a problem, we try to fix it, we have discussions about it, we try to see eye to eye and understand other people's experiences. We can help mitigate this.
So in your opinion, or the foundation's opinion, that racism does exist today?
Yes, absolutely, it does exist. So this documentary took us a year and a half, and we spoke to hundreds and hundreds of people and interviewed over 100 people on film. And the main thing that we saw were the Indigenous people, the Aboriginal, the Natives within our society were the most discriminated against, as well as other races. So we want to put that out there and help people understand that, you know, just because someone looks different or they practice a different religion, they have curly hair, so many other things, doesn't mean that you should see them in a negative light. You should try to understand one another and educate yourself. Because a lot of the time, people who are racist, they just don't understand the other person's perspective. They don't see things in their way. They don't actually take the time to learn about them. And that's why these problems exist. For example, one of the people in our documentary, he used to be an Islamophobe. So that's not directly racist, but since race is related to religion and other things, he used to be an Islamophobic, and how he came out of that was that he educated himself. He started volunteering with Muslim people. He started making friends who were Muslims. And he understood that, you know what, they're not any different from me. They just have a different set of beliefs.
So do you think those people do understand that racism in the community and community at large is punishable? So why people do that?
I think ignorance and lack of education, and by education I don't mean they didn't go to university, they didn't go to college. I mean you need to take the initiative yourself to educate and learn about somebody. So why is that lady wearing a hijab? Why is that person wearing a turban? There's so many different reasons. Why does this person have curly hair? Why does this person love eating curry? You know, there's so many different things, and you need to explore different cultures and religions. And a lot of the people that are racist, they don't take that initiative. They want to stay in their little bubble. They don't want to understand other people. They want to stay where they are. It's an old school mentality, and we live in a multicultural society. We live in a cultural mosaic. It's absolutely beautiful, and we should come engage in it and love it, because it's great. This is why I love Canada. Canada is an amazing country, and I think we're the best country in this world, especially because we're multicultural, but that doesn't mean we can't improve. So that was kind of the basis of our organization as well, improving the country.
In your opinion, where do you think the racism exists between East and West, or South Asian, or West, or how, or everywhere?
I think racism exists everywhere. Of course, there's a larger population of white people, for example, in the country. So, and they are the ones who have systemic power, right? They're the ones who, there's more people in the government that are white, for example. They're the ones who hold that power. So racism always comes with that structure. So of course, in our documentary, we also talk about white privilege, but that doesn't mean that people of color shouldn't understand that they also have a say in this, because there are people of color who discriminate against white people, or they discriminate against black people, other people. So it involves absolutely everyone. Yes, we absolutely need to work on it, but I'm seeing this as a positive way that, you know, let's take this chance. We know we have this problem. We know we can make things better, so let's do it. And we'll show the world that we're the best country in this world. We can only get better. So
where one can get more information about this film festival?
You can go onto our website, www.canadiancmf.com, or email us at canadiancmf@gmail.com.
Iman, what are the foundation's future plans?
We have a lot of various plans in terms of educating people on different cultures and races. For example, that documentary that comes out, we have so many already planned presentations doing at universities, at colleges, at high schools, at even elementary schools to start this discussion. And I think that's the key. You need to start from somewhere and then grow. We're also hoping to do different conferences, summits, art projects that relate with this, just creating a harmonious society. So we definitely have a lot of plans coming up.
That's good. Well, good luck to you in the future.
Thank you.
And thanks for being in the studio and talking about this Canadian Cultural Mosaic Foundation.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this.